Manifesting your dream child is a lot like gardening. They come in a bunch of varieties, just like children do. They have the same basic needs, but some need a little bit more and some need a little less. Like, for example, this guy right here, I'm not doing so hot with this. Depending on the environment that you put your child in, they will either struggle or thrive. So what I'd like to do during this video is I'd like us to break down the law of attraction and how to use it in 5 ways to create your dream child. I'm Kristen, and this is Mommy Breakdown, where every week I break it down so you don't have a breakdown. Let's get started. Number 1, activity level. Some kids they sit a lot and they're observant, and then others are constantly on the go. Think about where your child falls in this range and what is the best thing for them. Is one time a day where you go to the park for a longer amount of time effective, or do you need multiple times a day where maybe it's even every hour where they get 10 minutes of movement? Number 2, distractibility. The law of attraction states that positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences. That means how we perceive our situation affects our feelings about it. So when it comes to distractibility, you might get very frustrated when your child is constantly distracted when you're trying to complete a puzzle or finish an activity. But really, distractibility can come in handy when your child has their body flailing on the floor during a tantrum, because you can say things like, oh, wait, do you see that over there? What is that over there by the tree? And then suddenly the kid pops up from the floor and they're ready and they're distracted and on to the next thing. Number 3, intensity. I happen to have one of those kids where it's like, this is the best day ever. And just as much as his highs are high, his lows are low too. So I really get to enjoy his highs, and the lows really stink and are hard to deal with, because when he feels his emotions, he feels them very, very deeply. Where does your child fall on this? And is it similar to you? If your child is more consistent with their feelings, then they're more predictable, and that can be a benefit as well. Number 4, regularity. This guy right here, it will wilt really terribly if I do not water it consistently. The leaves get really droopy, but as soon as I give it water, it just pops right back up. This is a great example of regularity. Some kids can adapt to changes in schedule, like 30 minutes later of a bedtime, skipping a nap, eating at different times, eating in a different place, being with different family members, being at a playground, being at a party, and other kids need more consistent routines. Where does your child fall into regularity? There are benefits to a plant like this because I can forget to water it for a while, and then I pop some water in it and it's good to go. And then other plants, they are so sensitive, like this original one that I showed you in the beginning, where I swear if I forget to water it one day, it's like angry at me forever, and I have to keep it so consistent. And that brings me to number 5, approach withdrawal. If your kid is in school and when they first started school, they were attached to you and you had to peel them off of your skin, and they cried for a while and hopefully they calmed down, and then the administration called you and said they're just fine. Or maybe you had one of those kids who they just went right in and they were like, peace out, mom, I'm gonna go play with these toys. That is a great example of whether or not your kid is an approach or withdrawal. Now you might say to yourself, well, why can't I have the kid who approaches things, who goes toward things, who just jumps right into? Because it sounds great when they're going to preschool. It doesn't sound great when they're a teenager and they don't hesitate and observe and take in information before they jump into a situation that could be dangerous. So depending on what you think about, each trait could be really positive. If you are someone who has a child with very strong traits, then go ahead and click this video and we'll keep talking.